Let's look quickly at what we call the rich text editor, also sometimes called a what you see is what you get editor. Now you'll see it in a lot of places on the website, in some places on the front end for your clients, in a lot of places in the admin too. Just as an example, I'm on the front end of a demo website, I'm in the account dashboard, I'm going to go into the messages. When your clients send you a message, they have the possibility or the option to use the rich text editor. And you'll see it anytime you see a box like this with a dotted line around it. That means that the content of that box can be edited, or can be formatted, I should say, using the rich text editor. Like I said, you'll see it in a lot of places in the admin. Just keep an eye out when you're writing something, when you're writing an article or blog, or putting pretty much any type of content in the admin, you'll see this rich text box. So how does it work? Let's write a little bit of text. And once you've written some text, simply highlight the bit that you would like to format. You can highlight by pressing the Shift key and then just moving the cursor along to highlight whichever bit you like. You can also highlight with the mouse or with your finger if you're using a touchscreen device. Once you've highlighted what you would like to format, you have all of these options here to format it however you like. And I'd suggest one time just play around, go through them all, figure out what everyone does. I'm going to run through them super fast now, but play around a little bit and see which ones you like using. So we have bold formatting, italic, underline, watch how the text changes each time I click on these, strike through. We have what we call quote formatting, so it looks a little bit like a quote here. We have what we call code formatting, so it looks a little bit like computer code. If at any point you want to reset the formatting, simply click on this X icon, text X, to reset everything, and it's back to where you began. We have various size heading. H1 is quite a big heading, H2 is a slightly smaller one. You then have a further option to change the text in all sorts of ways to make it various different sizes. Let's maybe reset it one more time. Let's highlight now just a little bit of this text. You have Subscript, so you see that bit of the text is a little bit below the rest. You have Superscript. Let's reset it one more time. You have options to align it to the left, which is the default, to align it to the center. If at any point you click on one of the options and the formatting bar disappears, simply highlight the text again, and it will every time, it will instantly appear again. So we also have aligning to the right. And the final thing, we have what we call justifying it. That's like you see in newspapers or magazines when you have several lines of text. It will try and stretch the letters out a little bit so that every line is exactly the same length, like a block of text. Let's set it back to the way it was. And what else do we have? We can indent it as much as we like, or outdent it again. We can create a numbered list. Like this. We can convert that or create a bulleted list where you have bullets instead of the numbers. And we can change the color of the text and also of the background. And even if we want of both of them, we could do maybe a white text and a red background like that. Let's reset it one more time. And the final thing here is various different types of fonts. Again, simply play around, set it the way that you'd like to use it. And that leaves three things at the right here. You have the option to add a link. So let's say I wanted the number 3 here to be a link. I would click on this, type in or paste whatever the link is, begin it with HTTPS or HTTP, whatever the internet address is. Something like, I can't type and talk, something like this. If you want to link to a page on your own website, simply write the URL of that page without your domain. So if I wanted to link to the features page on this website, I would simply write features. If I want to link to the contact page, I would simply write contact. Otherwise, simply open the page you want, copy the full URL, and paste it in here. Once you've done that, you've got a clickable link. And the final two options, I'm not going to highlight some text. I'm actually just going to add a couple of empty lines, and then I'm going to add a space. And then I'm just going to highlight that space to show what these last two are. We have the option here if we want to add in an image directly in this rich text box. Click on it, choose any image from your computer. Let's choose this one, and it will insert the image. This is a pretty large high definition image, so let's click on it, and you'll see these little boxes appear at the side. You can simply drag it and resize it to the size you'd like, and you can then align it however you'd like it aligned. And the final thing, one more time, let's add a space and just highlight it just to make the little formatting bar appear. The final option you have, you can actually even embed a video. Click on that, paste the URL of a video. I copied one from YouTube just before I started recording this. So paste in the full URL, hit the enter key, and your video will be embedded directly in the text here. One little bit of advice, it doesn't matter how many videos you embed, because it's simply, in this case, it will copy a link to the video. So it simply puts a link to the YouTube video and then does all sorts of cool behind the scenes code to make it look like this. When you embed an image like this, it actually converts the image into code. So that will fill up your database pretty quickly. If you're doing it in something like a message or in an article, it will make it pretty large and it can be slow to load, especially on a slow internet connection. So don't add too many images like this. In almost all places where you have the rich text editor, you also have the option to add assets. So here, in the case of the messages, we can add attachments. Add the images that way rather than embedding them in the rich text editor. It's okay though, if you want to embed one or two, then feel free to do so. So yeah, that's a rich text editor. Like I say, just highlight anything, play around with this, figure out what everything does, and format all of your text any way that you'd like it.